episode number 6 of Savages in the Bronx, live from Studio 54 in New Jersey and REM Studio in Staten Island, New York, and exclusively on Twitch and powered by StreamYard. And we're back! And welcome to the show on this Monday, April the 19th, 2021. I am your host, Rich Rivera, and I'm being joined by a very disappointed and pissed off Yankee fan, Tom Wospil. How you doing, Tom?
So remember last week when I said I was on this golf trip and then like Saturday night, I felt like I was dying and I felt horrible.
Yes.
I feel worse now, I think, than I felt then.
What? Was it more drinking and golfing, or
no, I have not. I don't think I've had a drink or have swung a golf club since. It's just the state of our New York baseball Yankees.
I'll fucking drink to them again. And once again, I feel like every time their name is mentioned, I have to take a drink. It's terrible. I wish I would have brought shots with me because I had been just fucked up doing the show.
Yeah.
Team's bad. Team's real bad. Matt here, our buddy in the chat goes, did we fire Boone yet? No, we have not fired Aaron Boone yet. If we had the power to fire Aaron Boone. Tom, if you had the power to fire Aaron Boone, would you fire him right now?
I mean, I guess, but also I don't think that's going to solve anything. We talked about it last week. I mean, the makeup of this team, the way this team's constructed is bad. It's bad. So I don't think Boone helps. I know we're going to get into that a lot today, but listen, like, not that he's there. Like, if Joe Torre is managing this team would still stink. So,
I think if Connie Mack was managing this team would still stink.
He's also dead, so that's.
Well, I'm just saying hypothetically.
I mean, a dead man in the dugout.
I want to have some fun here, but man wore a fucking top hat for God's sake. Only saw him in black and white. Damn it, man! Let me have some fun. I'd rather whatever. Casey Stengel.
He might have more life than Aaron Hicks, but
James Connors. I don't care.
Dead.
Anyone can manage this team. I don't give a fuck. I can manage this team, and this team would still be where it's at. Yeah. Probably worse. The Bronx is certainly burning. So we're gonna get right into our topics. Gary Sanchez, we'll start with him. Listed day to day after suffering a contusion on his index and middle fingers. X-rays luckily came back negative, so hopefully we'll see Gary sooner than later. And Higashioka has been a fantastic backup for us, I would say. Probably one of the best backups in the game. The Yankees have seemed to be blessed over the years with good backup catchers, between him and Austin Romine. Sanchez temporarily down. Hopefully we'll see him soon because I do have positive notes on Gary out of everybody on this team.
Yeah. I mean, it's thankfully it was really weird to see him get hit or not hit, but the foul ball off the hand that he stayed in, had in that bat, I think, and then left later. So, thankfully it's just a contusion and he'll be good in a couple days. And I'll be honest, it's stuff like that. Like, we're going to get into ripping a lot of the Yankees, but when the catchers get beat up and like they show so much toughness, and like when people say like Gary is like lazy and tough, it's like, listen, man, if you took a foul ball off your hand like that and then you still had an at bat, like I just kind of don't want to hear that. And I also don't want to hear like, well, he gets paid millions of dollars, you should tough it out. It's like it's still hard. That's still really freaking difficult.
You get hit with baseball. Tell me how it feels.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unreal. Like I would say, and I'm not like, and this is like, I'm not getting into politics and talking about capital punishment, but I'd say like if there is like an option of like, oh, like you're gonna be put to death because you've done a bad thing in life. Like I would like having a pitcher throw 99-mile-per-hour fastballs at me, like while I'm strapped down to a chair. Like that would suck. I wouldn't want to go that way.
You said I got dark, and you got real dark there, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get
how we feel.
But yeah, man, I'm fucking hot, man. This team is making me drink more. I'm just like, I'm hot. Like, this is it. We're Savages. This is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna keep it rolling here and talk about Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce announced his retirement from Major League Baseball after a 14-year playing career, 3-time All-Star, a career 319 home runs. One of those home runs with the Yankees. So that. I guess that's nice to see. But yeah, he ended his career at the age of 34 after Sunday's loss, which of course you made mention to on Twitter. Very weird to see him in the
he
dugout.
ended it before Sunday's loss, which
No.
even the weirder part.
Apparently, he was active, even though he said he was going to retire. He was active. He could have came into that game, but they still didn't replace the roster. It was so weird.
That's what I mean. If you want to let him, would it have mattered? No, because they would have brought up Mike Ford, who would have also struck out a million times too. But like, listen, like if you're gonna retire, he can stay in the dugout and hang out, but like bring someone who wants to play. Like, that's kind of stuff. It's like that's stupid. That's when your team when you're losing, you've lost at that point. What four straight? Come on.
5.
Well, at that point, it was 4 because they hadn't lost yet. Although they basically had.
Team sucks. Yeah. So Jay Bruce announced his retirement from the game. He looked himself in the mirror and said, "Damn, like I'm bad. I stink at this age at 34," which is realistically like a kind of young age to retire from the game. Even though you're out of your prime, but at 34, he realized it's time. I have nothing left for this team. I can barely play first base. I can barely get out of bed without my knees hurting. And
baseball's a grind, man. Baseball is a grind. People, give baseball players a hard time because you're standing around, and sometimes you got a bunch of fat guys out there. But it's a grind to get up there and do that every day, especially for it's not like they show up at 6:30 for a 7:00 game. Like those guys are out there at noon. They're doing conditioning, they're hitting, they're fielding. It's a big grind. So
maybe the Ball Busters on Staten Island can get Jay Bruce to show up at 7:30 for an 8:15 game starting this Sunday because he's currently not playing ball, and we can use a lefty slugger in the outfield, so that could work. Also, here's a take. Greg Kadari says Jay Bruce retired so he can manage the Yankees. There you go.
I mean, I don't know if we're gonna start. I know we got some other things to go over. Even though I'm sure that's mostly a joke, I don't think Jay Bruce would exactly be the guy I would want. I want someone who who's kind of like a psycho right now to manage the team, and I think Jay Bruce is too nice of a guy.
I can't help but look at our chat right now because our chat is lit. I must say, as the kids like to say, lit. Riff in the chat says should have just kept Yankee Stadium as a vaccine hub.
I mean, at least it would have been some use at that point.
The only positive thing about the Yankees and Yankee Stadium is people testing negative, which has been fantastic. Steve Arado says they could use a shot in the arm right now. So I love it. We have the vaccine puns. Yankees suck. We understand people. Let's move on because we're going to shit on the Yankees for another 20 minutes. But before we do that, let's make a special shout out for the first time on this show to Sincerely Alley Studios, because this episode of Savage in the Bronx for the first time is brought to you by Sincerely Alley. And since it's 2020, Sincerely Alley has been customizing scented candles and wine glasses and coffee mugs and much more. Yeah, maybe you can get a Yankee logo on a coffee mug. That'd be really cool. But Tom, sometimes after watching a weekend of losses and 5 straight losses, I just want to decompress. And, with the help of some of Allie's products, she makes it all possible. And I recently got my hands on one of her candles that she calls Life. What do you call? Don't Be a Salty Beach. Don't Be a Salty Beach. Really, really fun name there. The candle smells great. So, of course, I got to light that baby up every time the Yankees get swept by another division rival. But, hey, it was well worth it. So go follow @sincerely.alley. That's with 2 E's on Instagram. And you can visit her Etsy page, which is on the bottom ticker that you see right there, @sincerelyalley.co. So all things for your self-care needs, Sincerely Alley.
Do you think that they could, her candles can make the Yankees stink less?
They could. I
think it could be an improvement.
Right. And listen, back to the Bronx is burning. If I leave one of those candles unattended, the Bronx will be burning, and so will be my house. So, and that might be crucial because the Yankees are playing the Atlanta Braves for the next 2 days. And there's going to be a lot of unattended candles at REM Studio starting tomorrow. So special shout out there to Sincerely Alley. Go check out her stuff on the bottom ticker. So thank you to her for sponsoring our show. And now let's move on to more shitting on the Yankees on our monthly segment called 9 Up, 9 Down, where Tom and I are going to reveal our confidence ranking of the team. While we go from position to position, we get some of those positions rolled up into one starting pitching rotation for one, the bullpen and the outfield. But everything else we kind of go individually. So this list, I can tell you right now, at least on my end, is looking a lot differently from what it did a month ago. Because if I could put all 9 positions in the number 9 spot and have nobody at number 1, I would. But I'm not going to. I'm going to do this fairly. So, Tom, you can start it off at your number 9 spot. Who do you have the least confidence in on the Yankees?
So my number 9 spot, again, we do it by position, not necessarily player. So my number 9 spot is second base. So Rougned Odor, I have him down there. I have no confidence in him hitting a baseball, even though he did hit a home run over the weekend. And he's made some bad plays also at second. So bad offense, bad defense. Still, the only thing he's ever hit that mattered was Jose Bautista in the face, which I still love and I still can watch and get a lot of joy. But yeah, I got him. I got second base in my bottom rankings.
I couldn't follow up that better. He's at my number 8. So my number 9 spot goes to our shortstop, Mr. Gleyber Torres, who I say this with the utmost respect because I love the guy. I hope he does well. He's on my fantasy team, for God's sake, so I really hope he does super well.
He's on the bad one.
This motherfucker should not be playing shortstop ever again for the New York Yankees. And I'm sorry, I get it. He's a young 20-year-old. You got to give him time to figure out.
Not that young anymore.
Give him time.
Not that young anymore.
The time is up. Every single time there is a ground ball hit to that position, I hold my freaking chest. Because I don't think he's going to make the play. Any routine play, any hard play, forget about it. Any ball that's in the hole, that's a base hit. Sorry. Most recently, the Sunday game, where Higashioka had a runner nabbed at second, and Torres missed gloving the ball and the tag. 2 batters later, Joey Wendell hits a 2-run home run. This needs to stop. We need to stop Torres as shortstop. And clearly it's getting to his head because his offense isn't there as well. We have to figure this out with him. We have to move on. We have to move into second base and figure out the rest of this infield scenario. That's
the problem. It's the exact thing we talked about last week. Is they have nowhere to put him. He is a second baseman. I know. Your previous show, you talked about MLB. You talked about MLB, the show. I'm sure, which I am now a first time player of. They have him listed as a second baseman in that game. They have him at a position at shortstop, which I think is hilarious and correct. But there's nowhere to put him right now. Yes, right now you could put him at second and DJ's playing first. But when Voit gets back, that's not an option. And with Stanton apparently being too fragile to play the outfield, you can't you can't do something like put Voit at DH and still put LeMahieu at first. There's nowhere to put Gleyber Torres. And I have him actually in my 7 from the bottom ranking. And I think that's really just because for whatever reason, I still have semi-confidence with him at the plate. I still like what he does sometimes with his at-bats. I don't know why. I know a couple years ago, he used to really have a better 2-strike approach where he would shorten his swing and just try to put the ball in play. He seems to have just abandoned that, and he's still, swinging like 1 knee down with 2 strikes. I still have a little more confidence in him at the plate, but there's nothing you could do. That's the problem. That's why we said firing Aaron Boone doesn't change the makeup of the team. It's not a correctly made up team.
No, it's badly put together right now. But yes, Torres at number 9. You just mentioned Odor. I'm not really going to get much into it because you covered it beautifully. He's in my number 8. Well, the second base position rather is in my number 8 spot. Of course, Odor taking more plays over there. So who's in your number 8 spot, Tom?
My number 8 spot, and it's weird how this ended up down here, is the outfield. I have the outfield in my number 8 spot. Aaron Judge has been pretty good. I know he had the little bit of the injury, but he's out there. He's still hitting pretty well. I've liked what I've seen him in the field recently a little bit more. Beginning of the year, he had those couple plays where he was like, "I'm not going to dive. I'm not going to kind of go all out. I want to hurt myself," which is like, okay. It's a little soft, but whatever. Like if it's going to keep you healthy, keeps you healthy. I've noticed the past couple of games him diving again out there, which at least shows he gives a shit. But listen, you talk about no faith about when the ball is hit to shortstop. When the ball is hit to Clint Frazier, I have no faith. And some of the plays, Aaron Hicks, who's a good defensive center fielder, like he also just horrible
lately.
The play also, both of them at the bat have been dreadful. But the play that Frazier made on, was it Sunday, when he tried to maybe deke throwing home and then overthrew, that's something that if it happened on our softball team, I'd be yelling at our left fielder, like, what are you doing? Like, throw it to second. Like, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
It's horrible, honestly. And if our outfield right now, which something we'll probably talk about, was Talkman, Judge, and Gardner, I'd almost feel like they'd be my number one confidence, because I feel like at least all three of them give a shit.
Yeah.
And I know professional athletes give a shit, and I know it's dumb to say like, oh, they don't care. I think they do absolutely care, but it just doesn't look like they do, and it's so frustrating to see that.
It's almost like you want to wish for it, not wish for it, but at the same time, what carried the 2019 team was that next man mentality and giving opportunities to guys who maybe wouldn't get that opportunity if the full lineup was there, because these guys just grinding. And you saw the Urshela's and the Talkmans of the world and the Cameron Mavens of the world, be big contributors to that season, and one of the better Yankee seasons in the last 10 years. So
I would almost want to give a huge FU to most of the lineup and say, Talkman's our starting center fielder, and he's hitting third. Because it's the rest of you guys haven't proven that you deserve it, so why at least he's gonna play out in the outfield well.
Everybody in the lineup,
as well.
Everybody in our lineup has played has started in a different position in the lineup, so might as well. Yeah, Talkman hitting third. Why not? Let's roll it out tomorrow. So you have your outfield at 8. 7 you just mentioned Torres.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So my 7 is designated hitter.
Okay, I have that as my number 6.
Right there with outfield. So I was kind of kept them close. So designated hitter was 7, outfield at 6 for me. And again, to the same points, Aaron Hicks got to get going. What he's doing is pitiful, and Yankee fans are I think have now opened up to this belief that maybe Aaron Hicks isn't a capable starting center fielder in Major League Baseball. Maybe this guy is supposed to be. Maybe this guy is a bench player type guy, and he just happens to be the starting center fielder and hit third for this team. I saw an insane stat the other day where Jay Bruce's OBP wasn't so far removed from Aaron Hicks, and he retired Sunday, and Hicks is hitting third for the Yankees probably tomorrow. So it's freaking wild. So a lot of improvements there. So shortstop at 9 for me, second base at 8, designated hitter at 7, outfield at 6. Tom, you have so far at 9, second base,
8 outfield, 7 shortstop, and then 6 I have DH, and I mostly have that. And honestly, I think DH almost could go a little bit higher at times, because Stanton is still hitting the ball hard.
Yes.
And then, I think one of the old things I remember even from Little League, and I understand Little League is a lot different than playing for the New York Yankees, but part of it is, just hit the ball hard. You can't exactly control where it goes. Just hit it hard, get it in play, and, see what happens. And he's still hitting the ball really hard. So I like that. The fact that he can't DH more than 5 days in a row is stupid, but yeah.
Number 5.
Number 5, I have the catching position.
Okay.
Is that what you have as well?
I have him at 4.
I'm at 4, yeah. So, listen, Gary's been pretty good. Higgy's been pretty good. Defensively, Gary doesn't, a lot of the woes that we've seen. It's funny when we're talking about the team is playing so badly defensively, and over the past 2 or 3 years, that would have been a lot of talk about Gary Sanchez, and I don't see him being a huge problem defensively right now. And Higgy's always solid back there. So, yeah, I got him 5.
Should Gary, as long as Kyle Higashioka is healthy, should Gary Sanchez ever catch Garrett Cole?
No. At this point, no. It just seems like it's work. It works. I think this sounds crazy, but if the Yankees make the playoffs, and Gary's hitting like Gary can hit, you have to have him catch some Cole games towards the end of the season, because I know they show Higgy, when he catches Cole, does this and that. I think a lot of that is just small sample size, and it's wishful thinking. If you're in the playoffs, I think you kind of need, if Gary's hitting well, you need him to start. But for the rest of the season, yeah, Why not?
Here's the
Who
number,
cares?
girls. Here's the number right here. Higashioka, 8 games, hitting 308. 308 so far.
No.
The only hitter to play that amount of games to hit over 300. Kyle Higashioka, backup catcher. So be it. But yeah, I had the catching spot at number 4, and I really can't say much more than what you said before. I do like the combination of the two. Number 5, I have the starting rotation. This one, yeah, I felt like it needed to be like right in the middle because, again, obviously you have your bright spots. Garrett is Garrett. Montgomery I felt like he's done decently well at this stage of the season. Tyone, Kluber, we gotta get him going. Obviously, they're not going to go anywhere, and I know there's a lot of fans that are saying, "Hey, we got to stop the Kluber experiment. We got to stop the Tyone experiment." But you kind of have to roll them for a bit. Now that number 5 spot. Now, why the fuck is Debbie Garcia not up and giving a crack at that rotation spot? Why is Nick Nelson starting games? Like these are the questions I have that just are going unanswered.
I mean, it gets talked about a lot, but the Yankee, and I understand a lot of the good teams use analytics and all that kind of stuff, but sometimes it's like they think too hard about this kind of stuff. Like, just if you're gonna have Mike King start, just have Mike King start. He earned it.
Yeah, he went 6 innings out of the pen and fucking looked great. Might as well give him a start.
Mike King start instead of don't try to outsmart yourselves because you're pretty dumb.
Pretty dumb. So you have them switch. You have catcher at 5, rotation at 4. Who's in your number 3?
Number 3, I have first base, which currently is DJ LeMahieu.
Yep.
He was both of our original number 1.
That is correct.
Right. He hasn't been great at the plate. He's been picking it up of late. He's not at his standard, but he's probably still hitting better than everyone else on the team, who's been playing all the time. I know Higgy has a higher average. Defensively at first, he's not great, but he's also not a first baseman.
He's not bad either.
No, he's not bad, but
I at least feel like decent enough where a ground ball gets hit to him, like he's gonna make the play. Glaber is just another story. Might as well put a sack of potatoes there and hope for the best. Yeah. But it's weird how we did this ranking because yes, DJ LeMahieu was a second baseman. Well, was primarily a second baseman by the time we did last week. So second base I had up at the number 8 spot now, where I originally had the second base spot at number 1. First base I have at number 3, as like you had. I had it at the number 2 spot because Luke Voit was still in the mix. And as Steve Arado says here in the chat, we need Big D Voit back. Yes, we do. Hopefully sooner than later. But I agree, first base at 3. Number 2, third base, Gio Urshela. I mean, it's only really Gio Urshela's position there. I mean, he's been still great with the glove. The bat isn't super fantastic, but hey, it's Gio Urshela. We love that he's there and fucking plays every game unless he's played every game. Yeah, he's played 14 games. He's played every game he's been asked to play, and he's grounded a few balls at shortstop if need be. I can't say enough about Urshela. You love the guy. He's not a stud player. He's not an all-star kind of player, but Urshela's got to be at number 2 for me.
I mean, considering, he actually have him at number 1, and it's because when the ball's hit to him, I feel good. And he's the only one I think that when the ball is hit to him right now, I'm like, we're good. We got this. Everyone else, I when the ball's hit to him, I'm like, I don't know about this. And obviously there's some worse than others, but I have him at number 1 spot.
So then wrap it up. So if you have him at number 1, who's your number 2?
Number 2, I guess, is your number 1, I'm assuming, as the bullpen. They've been great. I know that they've technically lost a couple games, but I mean, there's part of me almost that wants to put them a lot lower just because I think they're going to get burned out. Everyone's saying it. It's got to happen. And it's not even just how much use they're getting. It's how much stressful use they're getting. So, I have the bullpen there. They've been great. We need to start getting some length out of starters to relieve them. We need to get the offense just to wake up. We need some games where we're up, 8 runs in the 5th.
Yeah.
So we can just say, hey, Sessa, just go pitch 4 innings and finish us out.
And Sessa's been one of those great contributors to this team. I'm looking at these ERA sparkling stuff. Chapman's looked fantastic. He's yet to give up a run. Chad Green's still doing Chad Green things, like playing every day. Seems like 0.93 ERA. Darren O'Day, 1.50. Sessa, 1.17. Loaizaga, who's been a nice surprise for the Yankees this far, 1.80. in 10 innings pitched out of the pen so far. And yeah, Michael King, as Matt mentioned in the chat, and King should have started. Only 2 games, but yeah, hasn't earned a run, hasn't given up a run. So bullpen's been fantastic, and I have the most confidence that they're going to be able to lock down or keep games in place if it gets to it. But yeah, it's got to take the rotation to get there. But as of right now, that's where my confidence rankings are at. So I'll give you mine one more time, and Tom, you do the same. 9, I have shortstop, 8, second base, 7, DH, 6, the outfield, 5, the starting rotation, 4, the catching position, 3, first base, 2, third base, and 1, the bullpen.
I got 9, second base, 8, outfield, 7, shortstop, 6, DH, 5, catcher, 4, starting pitching, 3rd, first base, 2nd, the bullpen, 1st, third base.
Good.
And my confidence in not messing that up is also pretty low. Because I feel like saying 3rd, 1st, and 1st, 3rd, little questionable on my part.
That's baseball, Susan. That's baseball.
That is baseball, Susan. And you know what? Your impression, still terrible.
Still stinks.
Still probably better than most of the Yankees. And you know, it's I don't know, man. It's so bad. It's just so bad right now. And I don't know. They need to wake up. Like I know you see a million things on Yankee Twitter, like, you know, I want a Paul O'Neill who's gonna punch a water cooler, and that's such like a calling into the fan kind of take. But you know what? I want to see someone punch a water cooler. I want to see, our show is named Savages in the Bronx, which is named after an Aaron Boone rant of the Savages in the Box. And and where's that been? Like, I want to see Aaron Boone go get tossed from a game. I want to see Brett Gardner hit, doing the bat thing.
Where is the fire? Where is the fire?
And I know a couple years ago they were getting a lot of shit because they were, they were kind of like whiny a little bit. Boone got a little whiny with some of this stuff. And listen, I don't know if Hal told him, listen, that's not how the Yankees operate. We can't do stuff like this, but we need some fire from someone. Voit is still a month away, according to them, so he's 2 months away. That's why I said, listen, give me Gardner, give me Talkman, give me Wade. Just give me guys who at least are like out there trying hard, running down the ball, making plays defensively. Put pressure on the defense.
You know what this team could use? This team could use a
talent.
Fucking brawl. They could, talent, yeah. But they could use, and a new center fielder. But they could use a brawl. They could use a fight.
Absolutely.
Even if they're at the fault, like, throw at fucking somebody. Fucking do some shady shit. Break some unwritten rules. Fuck it. I want to see a brawl. I want to see this team come together on something.
I want to see Aaron Boone with like an old school like Lou Piniella like kick dirt, Lloyd McClendon take first base and then take it with them and throw it across. I want something. I want some kind of fire. And speaking of fire, though, I know we're trying to get to our last segment here. The kind of fire I don't want to see out of this team and in that stadium is the embarrassing actions that some fans had over the weekend of throwing a bunch of baseballs on the field. Listen. That's shitty. I hope you get banned if you do that, because you're putting other players. You shouldn't even throw at your own players. If you're throwing at the Rays, they're not doing anything wrong. It's stupid. It's childish. I hope you get banned, and I hope you can leave the fandom.
1 ain't enough. I need 6. So we're gonna go to 8:35 tonight. By the way, everybody, letting you know right now. But yeah, that's stupid. Again, no place for that in the game. I hate when fans throw anything on the field. I don't care if they are Yankee fans. I remember the Blue Jay fans did that years ago, like when their team was hot. Hate that stuff. You're gonna get somebody hurt. If you're thrown from the upper deck, you get somebody on the lower level hurt.
It's just some real fake tough guy stuff. Yeah, he's doing stuff like that. Like, I'm gonna throw a baseball at Austin Meadows. Mm-hmm. Like, cool. Like, throw a baseball. Get 10 feet from Austin Meadows. Throw a baseball.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably lose some followers, but I hate our fucking fan base. Like, I really do.
It's stuff like that. That honestly, it's like when we look at like Philly fans, they're the ones that always get the rap for being such, horrible fans. Yeah. It's stuff like that when people look at Yankee fans and they think of that. And I don't think that's the majority of Yankee fans. It's not the majority of even like things like Philly fans or Red Sox fans, but it's just embarrassing. Again, I know we're going to go a couple minutes late here. We do have a comment, to fire Boone, which we just kind of talked about at the beginning of the show. If we fired Boone, Obviously it'd be probably like an interim manager, but who would you want to see bring that fire to the managerial position of the New York Yankees? So, which I think we both think they need.
They need a fucking like Ozzie Guillen. They need like an old school
I was thinking
guy.
that before, actually.
Tear shit up. We need something.
What's funny is, part of the reason Girardi was fired is because they said he didn't connect to the young guys. I know he was getting on Gary Sanchez in the beginning, and it's funny because that's exactly like what we need now. Like we need, I want to see Joe Girardi. Like I would love, like I know he's not out there as an option, but like I want to see someone like that who's gonna get in someone's face and listen. Like there's no room for like absolute belittling players and that kind of stuff. But I want to see something. Like it's you watch some of the '70s Yankees and you see like Billy Martin like trying to fight Reggie. I want to see Billy Martin try to fight Reggie Jackson. Like I want to see Aaron Boone try to fight Aaron Hicks for doing some stupid shit.
That's it too. Like we have way too many stoic players on this team, like the LeMahieus that are rather quiet, the Judges of the world. Torres is still a kid, so like we need some Gary. Even if we have to call Dietrich for a day to punch somebody in the face.
I would love. I would love to see Dietrich with the. And I know it's tough to have like the swagger when you're losing. Like I get it. Like I think the Yankees have some guys who have some swag, but when you're losing, it's really hard. Like how you're gonna really show it. But yeah, I would love to see Dietrich with a big gold chain. Let him go up there. I can't wait to see Voit back with like the half button shirt, nothing underneath, just like what's up, let's go.
Yeah. Oh, Matt has a great suggestion. Eric Kratz for the managerial role of the Yankees. I would love to see it. All right. So I think a good way to get off of the current Yankees is talk about former Yankees because former Yankees don't piss me off as much. So we're going to end our show with this. The player to be named later, where I'm actually going to start off and give Tom the clues this time. So, Tom, let's see if we get this one. This is a guy who definitely brought the fire. He started his career all the way back in 1986 and ended his career with the Yankees in 2005.
86. Ended in 2005.
And he was not good in 2005 at all.
No. I mean, that's the MO of the 2005 like Yankees. Like, oh, this guy was here at the end of his career. He was bad. Gary Sheffield.
Not Gary Sheffield. Our man here is a starting pitcher. He wore number 27.
Starting pitcher. Number 27.
Yeah, you can certainly guess. But Tom, don't look at the chat.
I will not. I was gonna say from that team, I was gonna say Randy Johnson, but I know he didn't wear number 27.
Was a teammate of Randy Johnson, yes.
Well, I mean, Randy Johnson was on 2005 Yankees, and we've established that. So I would
also assume. 2004, which this player was also on that team. He did 2 years with the Yankees, 2004, 2005, but also pitched with the Dodgers, the Padres, the Marlins.
No, Kevin Brown.
Kevin Brown's correct there. Kevin Brown brought the fire because he literally punched the wall and broke his hand. That's the sort of guy we need in the Yankee dugout.
I mean, I don't want Garrett Cole breaking his hand, but I don't even know who would want to break their hand right now. Again, Aaron Hicks. And I'm not even an Aaron Hicks hater. I really do like what he can bring to the team. The switch hitting, has some power, does have some swagger out there. Is a good outfielder. Just right now, they just like all of them just need. Okay, over.
I would love this. It could be Giancarlo Stanton because I feel like Stanton could fucking put a hole through the wall and actually come out unscathed. So because he's just
you think Stanton would not hurt himself? I mean,
good point.
I mean, all right. So, ready for mine?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So, I also have a pitcher from the 2005 New York Yankees.
Ooh.
He also played for the Yankees in 2006.
2005, 2006. Tom Gordon.
It is not Tom Flash Gordon.
Okay.
This is a starting pitcher. Again, a starting pitcher from that team. And it's also not Randy Johnson or Kevin Brown. When you said 2005 Yankees, I was like, oh, did we finally do it? Did we finally take the same guy?
2006. Corey Lidell.
It is not Corey Lytle.
God rest his soul. Oh, wait, I got another one. John Lieber.
It is not John Lieber, but that'd be a really good guy to guess.
I got it. Now I got it. Now I 100% got it. Jose Contreras.
It is not Jose Contreras.
All right, give me another.
So this guy, and this is what we talked about it before the show. I forgot he even existed, but when I looked at this stat from 2005, I remembered immediately. In 2005, this man went 10-0. Starting Aaron Small. 10-0. It was starting pitcher.
On the tip of my tongue, like while you were reading the guess, I was like, it's definitely Aaron Small. Yep. And then you said 10-0, Aaron Small.
10-0, 3.2 ERA in 15 games. I guess 5 times he came out of the bullpen. 6 times. He started 9 games, so I guess he won a game out of the bullpen. I remember he was one of those guys who was a bit of a journeyman at that point, was never really that good. I mean, he's a career 25-13 pitcher over 9 years, and he won 10 of those games 1 year at the Yankees. And that was one of those guys where, especially at our age, we're like, is this guy gonna be like amazing? Is Aaron Small gonna is he the next Andy Pettitte on the Yankees? And no, the answer was no. He was bad the next year, and then then he retired. Then he retired. Yeah, he was. Yes. I mean, I don't know if he got hurt. Yeah.
Look at that. Mid-2000s starting pitchers, Kevin Brown and Aaron Small, player to be named later. So, Steve, you got your wish. Show got extended a little bit longer than usual. Hey, listen, we try to get around the 30-minute mark, but hey, if we go a little over, the conversation's going well, there's nothing stopping us going a few minutes over the limit. Well, not really a limit, because there is no limit. The limit doesn't exist.
Limit does not exist. Limit doesn't exist. And our new state champions, whatever school that Lindsay Lohan went to before she messed. Special announcement for you all. I don't know the name of the school from Mean Girls. So if you know the name of the school from Mean Girls, go for it in the comments. Because I feel it's like a real generic name. You can go to whatever you're going with.
High school name. We do have a comment.
Eastview High or something like that. Something real generic.
Yeah, one of those go-to names. Special announcement that we had made already last week, so I guess it's not really that special anymore. Our next guest for next week's show.
North Shore.
The North Shore?
North Shore High School is the name of the high school from Mean Girls. Yeah, I know it's like some generic.
Not existed on Staten Island because we have a North Shore and South Shore here. But North Shore High School. All right, look at that. It is a generic school name. Mark Schwartz didn't go to North Shore High School, though, but he did go to TD Bank Ballpark to become the play-by-play commentator of the Somerset Patriots, and he's also the host of the new Patriots-sponsored podcast called Patriots in Pinstripes. So Mark's doing some real cool things over there, and he's going to be our special guest for next week's show. So we are looking forward to talking with Mark, who's actually our first guest who's affiliated with the Yankee organization. So he's going to talk about the team. He's going to talk about the Pats, moving on from independent ball to AA baseball. Hey, the Patriots are now in MLB The Show 21, which is pretty cool to see. You can wear the uniform and bash home runs with Jason Dominguez. So we're going to talk to Mark next week. So should be a lot of fun.
Bring me the Martian right now. I want the Martian to be our starting center fielder. Why not? Why not? Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. I only played Little League, 10 years ago? Not even?
Not even.
5, maybe?
Whatever. I don't care.
Fantastic.
Let's see it.
Why not? Let them all rip. Dominguez, Louis Hill, Alexander Vizcaino. I want Somerset Patriots in pinstripes, and I want people in pinstripes playing for the Somerset Patriots at TD Bank Ballpark. So that would be a great trade-off there. We're going to end our show now officially at the 8:39 mark here on the East Coast. Got to thank all our Twitch viewers and followers and all our commenters. We had a lot of comments, good comments in the chat, good feedback. So thank you guys for all of that. Got to thank my folks and my sister for putting up with my nonsense every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Tom, anybody you want to thank?
I want to thank no one who currently plays for the New York Yankees other than maybe like Gio Urshela and guys in the bullpen. And that's what we got today.
100%. And of course, want to thank our official sponsor of the program now, Sincerely Alec. And there's the information on our ticker as we close out our show. Thank you, Allie, again. And thank you, Steve, for setting that up. And thank you guys once again. We'll see you here next week for another edition of Savages in the Bronx. Take care.